Good morning, everyone. So, what we were discussing in the last lecture, we have one result to prove, right? So, what was the statement? We have been provided that phi is a one form such that phi is equal to summation over I fi dxi, right? Then, what is the next thing provided to us? We have to find out d phi. Okay, what is a d phi? It is summation over I dfi wedge product with dxi, right? And what is our aim to prove that? We have to prove that d2 phi, that is second derivative, is 0, given that phi is equal to summation over I fi dxi, where I is running for 1 2 3 because we are in Euclidean space. And next we have been provided that d phi is equal to summation over I dfi wedge product with dxi, right? These are the two things provided to us, and we want to prove that d2 phi is equals to 0, or we can say exterior derivative of d phi again with d. That means d of phi. Okay, this is equal to 0. Okay, any doubt up to this one?
No, ma'am.
Okay, let me start the proof. I hope you're writing with me. So let us start the proof. First, we will go with this one. Phi is equals to what is given to us. It is f1 dx1 plus f2 dx2 plus f3 dx3. Okay. Now, with the help of this one, we are going to find out what is d phi. Okay, so let me evaluate what is a d phi. So it is, as phi is a one form, d phi will be a two form. That means we have to just evaluate the this d. Okay, so how to evaluate this one? I have to evaluate this as, because it is given to us, that is this is nothing but df1 wedge product with dx1 plus what is the next term, as we are going to just evaluate this summation, and phi is this one, plus what is the next term, df2 wedge product with dx2 plus next df3 wedge product with dx3. Okay, so d phi is equals to, now uh, as we have been provided with df1, so what will be df1 dx1 will be as it is df2 dx2 df3 and dx3. Now we have to think on this and we have to evaluate each and every term. ओके, यहाँ तक हमें जो दिया गया था वही लिखा है हमने, राइट? सो जस्ट नाउ वी हैव टू इवेलुएट व्हाट इज df1. ओके, now everyone know that if f is any real valued function, how we write df? Df is nothing but dou f by dou x plus dou f by dou x dx plus dou f by dou y dy plus dou f by dou z dz. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so in general way we can write it as dou f by dou xi dxi. Yes. So this df1 is also one real valued function. F1 is a real valued function. So how to evaluate df1? So I have to write down one whole bracket for this df1, so that I can write it as what I will write this in the very similar way of this function. Okay, df, how we write it is summation over I dou f by dou xi dxi. So in the very similar way I have to write down for this one, that is f1 with respect to x1 dx1 plus next term is f2 with respect to dx2, with respect to x2, then dx2 plus, f1 it should be, we have to find out the derivative of f1 with respect to x3 and dx3. Yes, everyone getting me what I written here?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, plus next term, what is the next term? This df2, again I have to write down very similar way for the df2. You can write down the reason here that any df can be written as summation over I dou f by dou xi dxi. Okay, instead of f we have f1 f2 and f3, so that's why I will write down the second one as f2 with respect to x1 dx1 plus f2 with respect to x2 dx2 plus next term is f2 with respect to x3 dx3 wedge product with dx2 plus, okay, the last one I will write with the help of again this df. What is the f here? It is f3. F3 with respect to x1 dx1 plus f3 with respect to x2 dx2 plus next term f3 with respect to x3 dx, wedge product with dx3. Okay. Yes, everyone having a doubt related to this one up to this step?
No, ma'am.
Firstly, we have
No,
written
ma'am.
C5, secondly, we have written D5, and then we have evaluated simply what is a D5. Okay, now let me go one by one for this one. What I have to do, I have to now evaluate the wedge product of this one with this one. Okay, first term का ये ना रहे wedge product of dx1 with dx1. दो f1 by दो
0.
x1 side में रहेगा.
0.
Right. Okay. So first term will be 0. So we have to evaluate second and third. और यहाँ पे क्या होगा dx2 wedge product with dx2 will be 0. यहाँ पे actually partial derivative नहीं है. So we have a total derivative. So this is what here dx2. So again dx2 wedge product with dx2 again it is 0. So this term is 0. Here second term is 0. And in the last one the third term is 0. dx3 wedge product with dx. Okay. So these are the terms which are 0. So we will write down simply the remaining terms. Okay. So let me start with the writing remaining terms. What are the remaining terms? First we will write down d5. So first term will be 0. So what are remaining terms? I will write down with the first one. Okay, f1 with respect to x2 it was, and dx2 wedge product with dx1. Correct? You can see here actually it is this is what f1 with respect to x2, dx2 wedge product with dx1. Next term f1 with respect to x3, x3 with dx3 with wedge product with dx1 plus what is the remaining f1 with respect to x3, then dx3 wedge product with dx1 plus next term. What is the next term? Again we have here f2 with respect to x1, then dx1 wedge product with dx2. Correct, no? Let me check. What is here? This term f2 with respect to x1, dx1 wedge product with dx2. Second term 0 होगा. So what by remains? f2 with respect to x3, dx3 wedge product with dx2 plus what is the term f2 with respect to x3, then dx3 wedge product with dx2 plus last term. What is the last term remaining? Okay, so f3 with respect to x1, dx1 with wedge product with dx3. Okay, let me write down here f3 with respect to x1, then it is dx1 wedge product with dx3 plus what is the next term? f3 with respect to x2, then dx2 wedge product with dx3. The last term will be again 0. Now let me collect all the terms which are with uh, just like A cross B, because we know that this wedge product is very similar, or it is going to satisfy all the properties of your cross product. A cross B is equal to minus of B cross A, or we are knowing the very important property dxi wedge product with dxj is equals to minus of dxj wedge product with dxi. It is not satisfying the abelian property. Both are equal and opposite. So d5 is equal to, I will collect the term. This is x1, x2. Where is we having x1, x2? Here is also x1, x2. Right? Okay, let me collect the terms. What I will do, I will write down with x1, x2. dx1 wedge product with dx2. Okay, and this term I will give with a negative sign. Yes, everyone getting me what I will do?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, so let us start with this. Firstly, f2 with respect to x1 with a negative sign here, f1 with respect to x2, and what is a common term here? This is what your dx1 wedge product with dx2. In the very similar way, as x1, x2 is done, then we will do for x2, x3. This is x2, x3. Here is also x2, x3. Okay, so let me collect the term. राइट x2 x3 हम लोग ऐसे ही रखेंगे dx2 wedge product with dx3. right? Next here we have f3 with respect to x2 minus f2 with respect to x3. Okay. So what are the terms remaining now? We have been now remaining with f1 with respect to x3. Here we have here also f3 with respect to x2. So what is a common term? So this we will keep it as positive, and position of these two we are going to interchange. If I change the interchange of position, so there will be a negative sign. Okay. So let me write down this one. What is the term remaining in the last is f3 with respect to x1 minus what is the term in the first one, f1 with respect to x3. Yes, what is dx1 with product with dx3. Okay, so now we come across this one. Now what is our actual aim to find out what is d25. Okay, so now let me go for finding d25 because we cannot simplify more than this one. Correct? No, as we are not knowing what is f1, f2, f3, we cannot evaluate this d5 equation more. अगर आप इससे ज़्यादा भी आप इसको सिंप्लीफाई करना चाहोगे तो नहीं कर सकते हो, बिकॉज वी डोंट हैव व्हाट आर f1 f2 f3. अगर f1 f2 f3 पता होते तो हम डायरेक्टली पार्शियल डेरिवेटिव पुट अप कर सकते थे, राइट? So what is our aim now? We have to find out d25 is equals to 0, right? So already we have found what is d5. Now just let me operate d5, that is nothing but d25. Okay, so what I have to do, यहाँ पे जो भी आपके function है, now this will be one function, no? f1 f2 f3, these are real valued function. Then we are finding their derivative with respect to either x1 x2 x3. So what will be this one? This is again a real valued function.
Yes, ma'am.
This is also a real valued function. This is also a real valued function. So now again whatever we have done for evaluating d5, यहाँ पे हमने क्या किया था, right? df1. So df1 के लिए हमने इतना बड़ा वाला term लिखा था ना, f1 with respect to x1, dx1 and so on. Okay, why? Because f1 was a real valued function, right? Now here also we have to do very similar things because we have to evaluate d5, right? Yes, everyone getting me what I told you?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So second time we have to operate the exterior derivative. So let me write down this, how to evaluate this one. What I have to do, I have to evaluate the derivative of this one. Then here, what is the first term? यहाँ पे जो होगा वो आपका with respect to x1 होगा, right? So x1 x1 cancel हो जाएगा, right? So let me write down for the first term. What will be there in the first term? We have to evaluate the derivative of the first one. Okay. This term we have to keep it as f, right? D, this whole term, whatever there in the partial derivative, and dx1 आएगा यहाँ पे, correct? I will show you in the more easy way, but we have to skip 2 or 3 steps for that. Let me show you what I have to do. This is what your function f, and this is what a derivative, just like we have done for this step. Okay, यहाँ पे हमने क्या किया था, df1 वेज प्रोडक्ट विद dx1. सो वहाँ पे भी हमें सेम मेथड फॉलो करना पड़ेगा, राइट? फर्स्ट वेज प्रोडक्ट विद x1, then x2, then x3 for first term. Next we have to do for the second term, again wedge product with x1, x2 and x3. For the third term, again wedge product with x1, wedge product with x2 and wedge product with x3. Okay, so here अगर हम wedge product with x1 ले रहे हैं तो फिर again यहाँ पे क्या है, dx1 है, तो wedge product अगर यहाँ पे x1 के साथ ही होगा तो वो again term what will be the result of this t?
0. 0.
So again हम the second term evaluate करेंगे. So what we will be having there, we have a derivative with respect to x2 and again wedge product with x2, correct? So if you are not getting me, let me write down. So here I have to do b, no? So for that, instead of writing b and all, so what we will do, f2 with respect to x1 is there, no? So the first one is f2 with respect to x1. So we are evaluating the second derivative. So it is derivative with respect to x1 minus what is the term f1 with respect to x2, right? Minus f1 with respect to x2 is there. Again we are evaluating with respect to x1. Last one is x1 with respect, dx1 wedge product with dx1 wedge product with dx2. So these two will be 0. ओके. सो सेकेंड टर्म को क्या होगा, जो भी आपका टर्म है उसको हम पार्शियली विथ रिस्पेक्ट टू x2 डिफरेंशिएट करेंगे, राइट? सो d2 f2 is there, then x1 already is there and we are going to differentiate with respect to x2. और बाहर क्या आएगा, टर्म x2 dx2 wedge product with dx1 wedge product with dx2. Again here dx2 wedge product with dx2, this will be again 0. समजते सगळ्यांना?
Yes, ma'am.
ओके. यहाँ पे क्या है, f1 है, राइट? f1 का डेरिवेटिव ऑलरेडी विथ रिस्पेक्ट टू x2 है. अगेन वी आर डिफरेंशिएटिंग विथ रिस्पेक्ट टू x2, so it will be just like dx2 square. Okay, let me evaluate the last one. What will be there in the last term? Again derivative of f2 already with respect to x1 is there. Now we will evaluate with respect to x3 minus again f1 is there, d2. Okay, here is x2, so we are now evaluating with respect to x3. Now here we will remain with x3 wedge product with x1 wedge product with x2. Okay, ये हमारा ऑलरेडी पहले वाले टर्म्स है, राइट? dx1 wedge product with dx2 and then for the last term we have a x3. Okay, so first two terms are 0, so we will remaining with only this third term. Yes, everyone got me?
Yes, ma'am.
ओके. सो द फर्स्ट टर्म में हमको सिर्फ एक ही टर्म मिला, राइट? dx1 dx2 dx3 में dx1 की वजह से फर्स्ट टू टर्म 0 हो जाएंगे. वी आर रिमेनिंग विद फर्स्ट. सो हियर आल्सो वी विल रिमेन विद द ओनली वन टर्म, करेक्ट? यहाँ पे x2 x3 है, तो x2 x3 वाले टर्म 0 होंगे, ओनली x1 वाला बच जाएगा, करेक्ट? यस. सो लेट मी राइट डाउन दैट टर्म. दैट मीन्स प्लस. Now I will write down directly. I hope you can understand now. f3 with respect to x1. x1 वाला ही बचेगा. So we will write down the partial derivative with respect to f1 only. आउटसाइड में क्या बचेगा यहाँ, x1 with now wedge product with, यहाँ पे क्या है सेकेंड टर्म में x2 एंड x3. So x2 x3 वाले 0 हो जाएंगे, जहाँ पे x1 है वो ही रिमेन करेगा. यहाँ पे x2 wedge product with dx. ओके, फर्स्ट टर्म में ये बच गया, सेकेंड टर्म में ये, और लास्ट टर्म. ओके, व्हाट इज देयर इन द लास्ट टर्म? लेट अस चेक. हियर इट इज x1 x3, राइट? सो wedge product with x1 and x3 will be 0, so we will remain with x2. So इसको हमने partial derivative with respect to x2 we have to write, and here dx2 wedge product with dx1 wedge product with dx. Okay, if anyone having a doubt you can ask. No doubt the detailed proof is available in your notes, whatever I have shared you on your Google Classroom itself. So last term I will write down. So it is having a derivative with respect to x2, the x3 as it is, minus derivative of f3 with respect to x2 x1, and outside क्या बचेगा यहाँ पे, x2 wedge product with x3 wedge product with x1. Okay. Now if you see here, all these terms are involving with the wedge product of x1 x2 x3, but the orders are changed. Okay, so इसका order क्या है, x3 x1 x2, यहाँ पे x1 x2 x3, यहाँ पे x2 x3 x1. ओके, सो हम लोग सभी को कॉमन में कन्वर्ट करेंगे, राइट? x1 x2 x3 में कन्वर्ट करने के लिए हमें क्या करना पड़ेगा, राइट? सो फर्स्ट आई हैव टू इंटरचेंज द पोजीशन ऑफ these two. Okay, so first if I have interchanged the position of these two, here I will have x3 and x1. right? Again I have to change the position of x3 with x2 क्योंकि x3 यहाँ पे आ जाएगा, करेक्ट? समझते सगळ्यांना? Let me show you
Yes,
what I
ma'am.
will do. So here it is x1 wedge product with x3 wedge product with x2. Okay, if I interchange the position, the sign will be changed by negative. Again, if I change the position, so it will be positive. Right, this dx1 I will keep as it is. Then I will interchange the position of these two. x2, here we will have x2 wedge product with x3. So there is no change now, right? क्योंकि हमने position 2 times change किया है, negative negative will be positive. So now all are in the sequence x1, x2 and x3. ये already sequence में. So what we can do for the last term? What I have to do here? Now this dx2 I will keep here as it is. Here is dx3, sorry dx1 here, because I will interchange the position of x1, x3. So again there will be a negative sign. If I have again interchange the position, so if I interchange the position of these two, again this negative negative become positive, x1 with respect to x2, and here sorry dx1 wedge product with dx2 wedge product with dx3. Again negative negative become positive, again there is a no change of sign. Okay, so now all are with the same wedge product dx1 dx2 and dx3. Okay, so let us evaluate the term. d2 phi is equals to, now we will write down all the partial derivative in the one bracket, and outside this we have dx1 wedge product with dx2 wedge product with dx3. Okay, let me evaluate the first term. What are the partial derivatives? I will write here. The first one is f2 with respect to x3 x1 minus d2 f1 with respect to x3 x2 plus sorry f3 is there, f3 with respect to x1 x2 minus then again f2 with respect to x1 x3. सिंपली मैंने पार्शियल डेरिवेटिव एक ब्रैकेट में कंप्लीट किया है बिकॉज आउटसाइड के जो भी हमारे वेज प्रोडक्ट है उसको हमने सीक्वेंस में लिखा है. सो ऑल विल बी कॉमन minus d2 f3 with respect to x2 and x1. Outside we are remaining with wedge product of x1, x2 and x3. Okay, now what are the terms will get cancelled? x3, x1 is there. Here is also x3, x1 with respect to f2. So these two terms get cancelled, positive, negative. x3, x2 is there. Here is x2, x3. माहिती है ना सगळ्यांना? dou 2 f x y is equals to dou 2 f y
Do
x.
I?
Yes, no?
Yes, ma'am.
So we can evaluate. This term will be get cancelled, and again these two terms will again get cancelled. So what will remain? If this whole bracket is equal to 0, 0 into this dx1 wedge product with dx2 wedge product with dx3 will be 0. Then we can say that d2 phi is equals to 0. Okay. So let me start with the proof once again. What we have been provided, phi is equals to summation over I fi dxi. Then d phi is also given. Now simply what I have to do, I have to write down what is df1, df2 and df3 with the help of this result that any df can be written as summation over I dou f by dou xi. Right? सिंपली हमने जो टोटल डेरिवेटिव अपना बीएससी में स्टडी किया है वैसे वाला, राइट? And then you have to just evaluate and you will get the result that some of the terms will be common, and you have to just interchange the position and write with this equation. After writing this equation you will come to know that we have to find out the d2 phi. Okay, अगर d2 phi आपको find out करना है तो आपको क्या करना पड़ेगा? You have to evaluate one more derivative. So at that time again you can see here firstly wedge product with x1 होगा, then x2 and x3. क्योंकि यहाँ पे x1 x2 टर्म ऑलरेडी है तो wedge product इन दोनों का 0 होगा. So these two terms are 0. Okay, so we are remaining with the only last term. एंड दिस विल हैपन फॉर एवरी टर्म बिकॉज आपका फर्स्ट टर्म जो होगा इसको इवेलुएट अगर आप D25 से करोगे तो 3 टर्म मिलेंगे, यहाँ पे 3 + 3, so total 9 terms you get. Out of 9 terms 6 terms are 0. Getting me?
Yes, ma'am.
See very carefully, you have to see this because I don't know how many of you are writing this. So just see very carefully so that you can understand what I am writing here. Otherwise, when you go for study, whenever you are having the internal or external exam, so it will be difficult for you. सो फर्स्ट जो भी था हमारा उसको हमने x1 के साथ वेज प्रोडक्ट लिया, फिर x2 एंड x3, और x1 x2 वाले जीरो हो जाएंगे वेज प्रोडक्ट. व्हाई? बिकॉज इट इज रिपीटेड. ओके, since we know that a cross a is 0 because area of a single line you cannot find out because your cross product is nothing but you are finding the area of a parallelogram, or if it is in 3D, that is a cross b cross c, so it is a volume of the parallelepiped. ओके, नाउ नेक्स्ट टर्म अगेन यहाँ पे आपको 3 टर्म मिलेंगे, 3 में से जो टर्म नॉन जीरो है वो मैंने लिखा है. सो हियर ऑल्सो आई हैव रिटन द ओनली टर्म्स विच इज नॉन जीरो. अगेन व्हाट आई हैव टू डू, सिंपली चेक द पोजीशन ऑफ योर वेज प्रोडक्ट, और उसमें थोड़ा सा इंटरचेंज करके हमें लिखना है, राइट? And write down all the partial derivative in one bracket. Outside the bracket, you have to write down dx1 wedge product with dx2 wedge product with dx. So it will be equal to 0. D25 equal to 0. Any doubt up to this one?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Okay, if not, let us go for the properties of this wedge product. Properties of exterior derivative, or you can say properties of the wedge product. Okay, let f and g be a real world functions and let phi and psi be the one form. Then what is our aim to find out? The first one, we have to prove the property that DFG, that is product of f and g, and we are finding the d, that is exterior derivative. So if you see this is very similar to our derivative. Derivative में हम लोग क्या करते हैं? First f as it is derivative g और g as it is derivative f. Product rule evaluate किया, right? So that's why it is called exterior derivative, wedge product or exterior derivative. D phi wedge psi is equals to, we have to prove that this is equal to d phi wedge psi minus phi wedge d psi. Okay, now don't interchange the position because अगर आप wedge product में position interchange करोगे तो so it will be change in the meaning of that. F is a real world function, phi is a one form, then we have to write down or we have to prove the result that df wedge product with phi plus f d phi. Okay, this is very similar to your ordinary derivative. No, not a very much difficulty. We have a difficulty to prove the second one, right? And third one is also easier. So what is your challenge? Challenge is in only second property that you will come to know how it is. So let us start with the first property. Yes, any doubt for these properties? What we want to prove, what is given to us? We are being provided that f and g are the real valued functions and phi and psi are the one form, and we have to prove that. What is our aim to prove that? we have to firstly prove the very similar property just like our derivative. Second is this one, and third one is when f is a real valued function and phi is a one form. Okay, so let me start with the first one. So we have to prove that dfg is equals to, okay. So what I will do for this one, now if we remember one thing, one theorem, that any df can be summation over I dou f by dou xi, where I running for 1, 2 and 3, correct? So f into g भी एक real valued function ही होगा ना. If I am writing this condition for any real valued function, dfg के लिए भी वो real valued function ही होगा ना.
Yes, ma'am.
So can I write the same thing here for dou by dou xi dxi? Instead of f, I have to write down the product of these two. Okay. With summation over I. Now, if I want to just evaluate this summation, what is this summation? Let me keep this summation as it is. First, we will evaluate the derivative of this with respect to partial derivative. Okay, product of these two function is there, and we have a partial derivative. How to evaluate? First, we'll keep g as it is, and derivative of f with respect to xi, plus then I will keep f as it is, then derivative of g with respect to xi's, and here dxi as it is, and here summation as it is. Yes, everyone get me? What I
Yes,
have
ma'am.
written, simply partial derivative मैंने evaluate किया है, जो भी हम product rule के लिए use करते हैं, right? After that, what I have to do, I will keep this g outside and I will take this summation over I f, because g is independent of summation, so I can write f with respect to xi dxi, right, plus f as it is summation over I g derivative g with respect to xi dxi, okay, which is equal to g as it is. What is the value of this one from this equation? Can anyone tell me?
DF.
df, और इसका वैल्यू क्या होगा, इस जो भी हमने टर्म
DG.
निकाला, it is dg. So here what I can write, g df plus f dg, and that is what our aim to prove. No, dfg is equal to g df plus f dg. Okay, ये simply real valued function है, so no need to have a very difficulty. g df plus f dg, or you can write down g df plus f dg. But if it has the wedge product, then it is difficult because you cannot interchange the position. You have to be very careful for the positions also. Because अगर आपका simply कोई abelian group है या फिर real valued function है, real line है, so real line is a field. It is satisfying the property of a dot b is equals to b dot a. But if you are having a wedge product, it is difficult. So we have proved the first property. Any doubt for the first property?
No, ma'am.
सिंपल है, क्या करना है आपको, सिंपली एफ जी प्रोडक्ट ऑफ एफ जी के लिए जो भी हमने लिखा है यहाँ पे हमारा जो डी एफ है, so df is for any real valued function, so df is equals to, we can write down this, and we have to do for the product of these. Now this, keep this summation as it is, evaluate the partial derivative. We know the evaluation, how to evaluate the partial derivative product of functions, and then the result. Okay, now let me start with the property of to prove the second one. To prove the second one, as I told you that it is difficult. Why it is difficult? We have to study the in two cases. Why this is so? Because if you come to know from the last proof, what we have done in the last proof, d2f we have d2 phi we have evaluated, and we have proved that d2 phi is equals to 0. And this was with long calculations, because every time we are getting three equations, and out of those we have collected 9 equation. Out of them 6 are 0, and remaining 3 को हमने dx1 wedge product with dx2 wedge product with dx3 उस position में interchange किया. So that's why we'll get one bracket in which we have a partial derivative. Outside that bracket we have dx1 wedge product with dx2 wedge product with dx3. Okay, so that is somewhat difficult. So that's why what we will do, अगर हम phi को वो original format में लेंगे, right? What is the original format of phi? Any one form phi can be written as summation over I fi dxi. This is what the original format of any one form. Correct, no?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so here also, if we are thinking that we will take that original format in which any one form is written as phi is equal to summation over I fi dxi. Okay, but what we want to prove actually in the second property, दो one form है. So think now, only one form के लिए इतना बड़ा calculation हो गया था. तो यहाँ पे तो हमें phi और psi दो one form evaluate करना है. Yes, getting me? What is the difficulty?
Yes, ma'am.
Actually, it is not difficulty. We will get some more equations, and we have to evaluate it very carefully so that we can get the result. Okay, so for that we will do one shortcut in which we will separate the cases. That is, in case 1, what I will do, we'll consider phi as a one form is a function of dx only, f dx, and psi as g dx. Okay, क्योंकि अगर हम phi को समेशन हो रहा है f i dx i लेंगे, if I take psi as suppose summation over I gi dxi, so it will be again very big calculation because you have to evaluate wedge product of phi with psi and then the exterior derivative d, right? So that's why we will go for the cases in which first case में हम लोग क्या लेंगे f dx and g dx. In the second case we will take different one, right? Because here you can see in the first case what we have taken f dx. So dx is same here. In the second case, what I will do, phi is equal to f dx, psi is equal to g dy. So that calculation will be very lengthy one. Okay, everyone getting me what I want to say?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so if I take this original format, it will be very difficult. So that's why we'll take only the cases in which let me evaluate this d phi, जो हमने case 1 में consider किया है. D phi, what will be d phi? It is nothing but df edge product with dx. बरोबर ना?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, in the very similar way, for this one I can write d psi is equals to dg wedge product with dx. Okay, now what is actually our aim to evaluate? D phi wedge psi. So first we will evaluate phi wedge psi and then we will take d of this. Okay, so what is phi wedge psi, which is equals to f dx is there, wedge product with g dx. Okay, f and g are real valued function. I can take them outside. Then dx wedge dx, which is 0.
Yes, ma'am.
So commonly we will get phi wedge psi is 0. अगर हमने सेकेंड प्रॉपर्टी देखा है तो यहाँ पे सेकेंड प्रॉपर्टी में क्या प्रूव करना है, d phi wedge psi, right? So phi wedge psi अगर 0 है तो d of them will be again 0. So let me name it as some equation 1. Now let me go for the second side. Second side में क्या है, d phi wedge psi minus phi wedge d psi. हमने d phi और d psi कैलकुलेट किया है ऑलरेडी. ओके, तो d phi wedge product with psi. Okay, d phi wedge product with psi is equal to d phi हमने क्या इवेलुएट किया है, you can see here what is d phi, this one. Okay, df wedge product with dx wedge product with psi. What is the value of psi? We have written g dx. Again, if I take g outside, what I remain, df wedge product with dx wedge product with dx. So it is 0. So we will get the result is 0. Okay. Again, in the very similar way, what I have to do? I have to do the same thing for the second term. Okay, what is that? Minus 5 with d psi. 5 with d psi evaluate करना है. d psi का हमें वैल्यू पता है. d psi 5 with d psi. So what is the value of phi? We have taken f dx. Wedge product with d psi. What is the value of d psi we have written here?
dg wedge product with dx.
Okay, dg wedge product with dx. Again, you can see dx is there. Here is also dx. It is also 0. You can see this is 0. This is also 0. Again, 0 minus 0. Because what we have to evaluate this minus. Okay, what we have initially d phi z, no? d phi wedge product with psi. d phi wedge product with psi minus phi wedge product with d psi is equal to 0 minus 0, it is 1. And again, equation 2 and 1. From 1 and 2, we can say LHS is equals to RHS. But this is true only in the first case. We have to do for the same thing for the second case. Actually, second case is very lengthy one that we will do in the second lecture. But you can just try at a home for the homework that in the case 2, for the second one, second property case 2, you can write phi is equal to f dx and psi is equal to with some another one g dy. Initially हमने क्या लिखा था यहाँ पे dx. So it is easy to prove. But in this case 2 we have done this differently. Okay, so for what you have to do, first you have to find out d phi, d psi, then you have to go for the second property. Those who want, you can write down this all properties so that you can evaluate the homework. Okay, try to do the second case in the very similar way of whatever we have done for the first one. But change क्या होगा यहाँ पे dx था पहले वाले केस में, but second case we have dx and dy. So it is lengthy one whenever you want to evaluate this one. Okay, just try to do that. Let me end the lecture. Thank you. If you have a doubt, you can ask. Otherwise, you can leave the meeting.
Ma'am, phi is two form or three form. The exterior derivative, double derivative 0.
Phi is
Phi is two or three form.
phi is
Then
one
exterior
form, so we have proved d2 phi is 0. Yes. What is your question?
for two form or three form साठी पण double derivative 0 असणार का मग?
That we have to see because अगर हम देख रहे हैं कि अगर phi की एक वन फॉर्म है तो उसके लिए d2 phi ऑलरेडी 0 है and that is what a very lengthy procedure to evaluate. No doubt I think it is also 0. अगर वन फॉर्म के लिए d2 phi या एक्सटीरियर डेरिवेटिव 0 है तो ऑब्वियसली सेकेंड एंड थर्ड के लिए भी 0 ही होगा क्योंकि वहां तो एक्स्ट्रा टर्म्स है ना dx with dx, dx with dy, then it is dx with dy with dz. Yes, getting me, Kajal?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, anyone having doubt? Just try to evaluate the second property for the case 2. I want to see how many of you can try because I want to check out whether you are getting differential geometry paper. समझता है ना मी शिकवलेला?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, if you have a doubt, you can ask. Otherwise, we can end the lecture. Thank you.